Now we have a son of a peasant like me, misdirecting our meager resources so that he can live a lavish life. That I'm having problems because of this incompetent man. But last year in April, you praised him. So now, who is incompetent? Is it Muturi or is it William? Otherwise, if they come out into the public domain, into the political sphere, tutawaweka kwa vita ya nguruwe. We shall drag them in mud. And by the time they come out, there will be no difference between the military, the disciplined forces, and Raia. Let them leave politics to the likes of Philip Kisia and the rest. Hiyo ni mahali tunapakana matope. And I now agree, probably, William needs to rethink very hard. Because these sort of decisions are not made by somebody who's normal. Yeah? It's shameful. How can you walk around with torn clothes and you want to buy designer clothes for your neighbor? It is stupidity of the highest order. Bwana C. Stop vomiting on the feet of Kenyans. What gives him the idea that he can do as he wishes? This is not his personal house, this is not Sogoi. I think the president needs to stop being simplistic.
Is there a vacuum post-Raila?
Play one clip where Ruto has spoken truthfully.
A very good day to you and welcome to Philip Kisia Unscripted. My name is Jedel Kabra. I'm so glad that you've joined us once again for our political conversations. Conversations that we say we hope will help our political leaders in making better policy decisions and informed political moves. The political landscape in the country is having significant changes, reshuffles in cabinet, Ruto must go chants, the conversation about our economy and what lies in the future for Raila Odinga, William Ruto. Ruto is actually going to transverse Mount Kenya. Hopefully, he might win that side for himself come 2027. Will this happen? Is there prospect in this? This is my conversation today with Philip Kisia. Great to see you. Kisia is a leadership and governance expert, former Nairobi town clerk, ex-KICC CEO, executive director, ED. Last time from Azimio, he told us he was there as a mortician. But how are you doing today?
Well, I'm good, Jed.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry we missed each other last week.
Yeah.
I had to attend some burial for Laureen, the daughter to my friend Cyrus Jirongo.
Oh.
So may she rest in eternal peace. And then again, a very sad week. We've lost another young man, the son of Honorable Elachi, Elvis, being buried, I think today. May the Almighty God rest his soul in eternal peace. And then, of course, we lost a gallant soldier, Bernard, who was on a mission in Haiti. We lost him. Again, may his soul rest in eternal peace. So it's not it hasn't been a very good week, losing young people who we should be bequeathing this country to. Is a very painful experience, particularly the circumstances that are surrounding those deaths. We keep on asking, why this youth? Why not people like PK and the rest who have seen the sixth floor? Why not people who've committed sins? Why not people who are robbing and stealing public funds? Why not people who keep on murdering and abducting our children? Those are the people that the Almighty should consider taking away, but not our young souls. But may they rest in peace. God knows, God gives, God takes. God knows why he decided that they must go and be with him at this time of the year.
I know we usually like to start with your reflections and your highlights. So what have you been reflecting on this week?
Well, Jed, this week there are two things that I've been reflecting on. The first one, and this one I think is a heavy matter. For the first time since independence, have we had people in the security agencies, and in this case I must be very specific, military. For the first time we've had our CDF commenting on matters that I consider to be politics. You know, we, for a long time, since I was born, and I have been around, I saw people like General Ndolo, General Molinge, General Tonje, who brought these reforms that we're enjoying, General Karanja, Mwathathe, General Kibwana. We've seen them. And none of this ever commented on matters that are politics in nature. But for the first time, our CDF, and a gentleman, I've heard him speak, I've not met him, but he appears to be a gentleman. In my view, I think he crossed the line. But I'm saying that he spoke, let's give him credit, that he spoke to us in a very respectful manner. So we must give him credit. But I want to remind him that the army's place is confined in the barracks. They should leave matters to do the public, to civil servants, public servants, and politicians, civil society, okay? Let them not cross that line. It's a dangerous line to cross. Why am I saying this? Because, you know, the army has been adored by Kenyans. It has been seen as actually the symbol of our safety. It has been respected, appreciated, loved. You know, and we actually, it is one of the units that remain so professional. And on this account, we must thank General Tonje for instituting reforms that have passed from one CDF to the next CDF. It has made the military predictable in terms of growth of officers and even in terms of training. So let's give credit where it is due. So why am I saying that it is dangerous for the military CDF to comment on matters? You've seen what has gone on in social media. And people are wondering why the CDF should comment on these matters. He clearly spelled out his constitutional mandate that, one, he is there, or the military is there, to ensure that our constitution is protected. Okay? And two, territorial integrity, in fact, is number one. Territorial integrity, because the constitution is protected by the constitution itself. And we have other arms of government and the people of Kenya who will defend that constitution. In fact, if you look at Article 1, 2, and 3, the people who are supposed to defend the constitution are the people of Kenya.
Yes.
It's not the military. The people of Kenya have the sole responsibility, have the sovereign, they have the powers to defend that constitution. So military is only there to support as one of the institutions that form a community called Kenya. So therefore, I would urge, with a lot of respect and a lot of restraint, I would ask the CDF to make sure that the history that has been established for that particular institution is maintained. Otherwise, if they come out into the public domain, into the political sphere, tutawaweka kwa vita ya nguruwe. We shall drag them in mud. And by the time they come out, there will be no difference between the military, the disciplined forces, and raia. Because huku nje, there's no decorum. Huku nje. And particularly the political environment. We shall drag them in mud. And we don't want that to happen. We want to continue respecting that institution that we've so far maintained, the love we have for them, and we do appreciate them. The other one is NIS. You know, I've been around, but the one which was there before, okay? We never knew who was heading it. Never. Just like this year, we didn't know who. We just knew the names. These people operated incognito. We never knew who they are. Particular intelligence. Okay? When people like Kanyotu were there and so on and so forth. Okay? So for my good friend Haji to start coming out in public, okay, times have changed, but for him to come out on public and start commenting on certain matters, his job is cut for him. His job is to predict through an intelligence system what is likely to happen and then forestall. His job is to advise the president on security matters, any threats to this country, internal threats, okay? And also collaborating with the military intelligence to make sure that our borders are secure, okay? So let them leave politics to the likes of Philip Kisia and the rest. Hiyo ni mahali tunapakana matope.
Yeah.
And we would want to avoid taking them through mud. And I mean, he has rightfully said, and you know, when people are chatting, because the Constitution allows people to ventilate, and when people are talking about Ruto must go, they're probably saying that he must go home.
Yes.
Do they want him to sleep in the office? When people are saying Ruto must go, they are saying maybe by 2027, it is time to go home. When they are saying that Ruto must go, they are probably saying that the Constitution allows them to send him packing.
Yes.
And it does allow the people, because the sovereign power, the powers are with the people. They can decide. He is operating under delegated authority. And the people of Kenya can, through a referendum, send him home.
Yes.
Can, through the elected representatives, impeach him. So there are so many ways in which the president can be sent home. Constitutional means. And nobody's talking about unconstitutional means.
Because he's talking about we are leading to anarchy in this conversation.
Listen.
And my thinking is, what do you think when you hear Ruto must go, then what? This is what they're asking.
No. The Constitution is very clear.
Yes, why are they asking?
You see, somebody can go through many ways. He is not a mortal. He is not a semi-god. He's a human being. Today I'm here. Our children we've just buried. Yeah? Okay? He's a human being. He's not a demigod. Therefore, the Constitution is very clear that if you are impeached, if something happens to you, if you are incapacitated, the Constitution is clear. It takes care of that one. So that should not worry anybody. The Constitution, the drafters of the Constitution were very clear. So in fact, Jed, I would advise the two gentlemen, because I sit with him in the National Security Council, instead of appearing to be issuing, mild threats, they should be telling the president, Bwana CNC, stop vomiting on the feet of Kenyans. They should be telling the president that people are hurting. They should be telling the president that people don't like when you pee on their feet. Okay? People are hurting. So they should be telling him how to correct, how to ensure that Kenya is a happy nation through proper governance, through proper management, through proper leadership, stopping corruption, improving the economy so that people are able to be actively engaged. People have something to do, okay? But if you just tell people to stop talking, yet the Constitution guarantees them to say what they need to say, I think they are failing and they are off the line, and we must call them out and remind them that they will do the president a favor by saying, Mr. President, this is where the problem is, this is where the challenges are, and this is how we propose you deal with the challenge. In fact, on that note, play those two short videos, CDF. Just play that CDF video.
We defend the Constitution and the government of the day, duly elected by the people. So wakati watu wanaamua kwamba tumechoka na hii serikali na mulichagua wenyewe, alafu mnasema must go. That must go must be done according to the Constitution. Si ni kweli? Yeah, so that's why people question kwa nini military inakuwa deployed. We have a responsibility. We took an oath to defend the Constitution, to defend the Republic. Soon have no country, and there's no spare. Not the way you carry a spare wheel in the boot of your car. Hakuna. So we can't have anarchy in the country, first and foremost. So even as people exercise their rights, it should be within limits and within bounds.
Well, that is our CDF speaking on Ruto must go, a state of anarchy he believes we can get to?
Now, I don't know it's getting anarchy. I've explained to you the measures that they can take, the advice they can give the president. But let me answer him through that video. There's a young video who attended Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission function. Just play, it's a 1 minute video, just play it out.
They investigate. First, you told us about your mandate, which is to combat and prevent corruption and unethical practices in the government. But seemingly, we don't see that. Please provide us with case studies where we have actually seen that corruption has stopped through this EACC thing. You came here. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, you've told us that you do your investigation, you gather data. Then what do you do with that data? We are still witnessing corruption. Our own president is a corrupt person. As EACC, what are you doing? As students, we are scared. And let me give you one quote. Yeah, the fourth Polandist came and told us that a patriot should not trust his government, right? And as the young leaders, what you're coming here to tell you is that we're not waiting for you to set our table. We are coming with our own table. We are coming with our own rights. Because if you cannot represent us up there, we'll not wait for you to represent us, yet you don't even understand us in the first place. Thank you very much.
She's even calling the president corrupt, saying our institutions are failing.
Correct. Now, as a matter of fact, these two gentlemen should be more worried about the Gen Z, should be more worried about the millennials. They should be very worried about the alphas, because they don't give a hook, they don't give a shit. They don't respect age. They only respect good governance, they respect good leadership, they respect people who are not corrupt. And if you are corrupt, they'll call you out. They have no other name for, people of our age, we can be a bit more courteous, we can be a bit more diplomatic in the way we communicate. But these young fellows don't have time for nonsense, okay? So what this girl has said is what the two gentlemen should interrogate and ask ourselves, why have we come to this point where even our young children are actually looking at us in the eye and saying, listen, we are not going to allow this incompetence, we're not going to allow corruption. And as a matter of fact, they are saying, we're not going to wait to be invited on the table. We are actually creating our own table. That is where the challenge is. The challenge is not with people who watch. The challenge is actually with Gen Z, and the person who needs to be advised is not the public, but the president and those in political leadership. And in any case, Jed, if there's something that human beings cannot stop, and these guys are educated, Ka Hariri and Nuruddin Haji are well educated.
Yeah.
They should know that if there's something that you cannot change, that if something that is unstoppable is what? Change. And when change comes and you have not prepared for it, it deals you a blow that will never recover.
Talk to me about then your highlight for the week before we even talk about state of politics and governance here.
Actually, Jed, let me quickly again talk about one highlight, and we've been talking, you allow me to talk about this one because we pass condolences to Bernard, who passed on in Haiti on a mission that has nothing to do with Kenya. You know, this mission, and we've been talking about this mission for some time, we have said that this mission is only there to massage President William Ruto's ego. How do we gain from sending our boys and girls to Haiti? How do we gain? How? He has not been able to explain. This is a misguided mission. This is a mission that the people of Kenya said no. This is a mission that the court said we have no business, and it was unconstitutional. The route they used was unconstitutional. But of course, using the numbers they have in parliament, they put some things together, and there we were. Our boys found themselves in Haiti. Now, look at what is happening. These are our young people. If anything, we need security here. We don't need security in Haiti. Lamu, there's a problem there. You've seen Al-Shabaab coming and picking our chiefs. Like you'll come to my compound and you're passing my compound and you see a Itaiwa. You know Itaiwa? A hen, a cock, and you pick it up. They just come and pick up our boys and administrative officers. So if you have a problem here, with a challenge here, why waste your time in Haiti? So this particular mission has zero benefit to Kenya. It is not our war. We should stop fighting it. And especially, Jed, when we have deplorable education facilities, our children learning under trees, our children going to mud floors, our children have no desks, our roads have not been done, our health facilities don't have medicine, we are not able to pay our doctors, we are unable to pay our officers, we are unable to pay civil servants properly, we are not unable to remunerate our civil service and public service properly, other than, of course, ministers who are properly remunerated for doing nothing, for doing no work. Okay? So if you have your own problems, you have not taken care of your children, but you want to go and take care of the neighbor's children, there must be something wrong with your head. And I now agree, probably, William needs to rethink very hard. Because these sort of decisions are not made by somebody who's normal. Yeah? It's shameful. How can you walk around with torn clothes and you want to buy designer clothes for your neighbor? It is stupidity of the highest order. So it's shameful. We are demanding that William Ruto should call off that mission. It has been done before. Call off those missions and return our boys home. My highlight for this week, Jed.
Okay.
Look for that video, Harambee Stars.
Hiyo ni saa ile tumefunga bao ama tunaelekea kufunga, ndio tunasema hiyo 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 Kenya hiyo. Harambee, 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 harambee.
Chants of Ruto must go in Nyayo Stadium. What do you want to say about this? Our generals have told us not to encourage these chants.
You see, those things are not about to disappear. They will disappear when we have good governance, when corruption stops, when people have money in their pockets, when people can feed, when children are not being abducted. You know, they will stop automatically. But so long as those things continue to happen, Jed, in fact, the volume, wataongeza volume. Volume
Tongezo.
So they should be ready to hear the noise. That noise is not about to stop. But there's a way of stopping it by doing the right thing. Why have I asked you to play that video, Jed?
Yes.
Harambee Stars, Harambee pulling together, is our national team. When you are playing for the national team, you are carrying our flag. You are carrying our pride. You are carrying our nation. Okay? It's a pride. It's everything for us. And that's why even when the kids on 25th of June last year, they went to Parliament to salimia those characters. They went with the flag. It symbolizes peace. It symbolizes, the struggle we went through to attain independence. It is a very, very, very symbolic item that we carry. And it's very dear to our hearts. So when you find our boys again, of course, these are Gen Zs, and probably a few millennials, who are representing Kenya, and they do some match fixing. It says a lot about our country, our moral fabric. Jed, where is our pride, Jed? Where are our morals, Jed? Where are our ethics? That we can sell our soul, we can sell our country because of money. But these are Gen Zs. These are millennials. Where have they got that bad manners from? They have got those bad manners from us. And that is why I think Kenya needs to start afresh. Oh, yes.
It's just start afresh.
We must start afresh. Because these children are copying from us bad manners. corruption, selling the soul, selling our country for some small coins, because they can see us doing that. They can see us putting on belts for $1,000,000 shillings. They can see us putting on shoes for $3,000-4,000. They want to do the same. So don't blame these children. We must blame ourselves for the mess that this country finds itself in. So I'm asking those responsible for advising the president, the general and Haji, to tell the president the truth, to assist him so that he can make Kenyans happy. Kenyans are so unhappy, and they will do anything because they have nothing to lose.
Okay.
So the only medicine
Yes.
that the president has, and he has 2 more years to go, time is clocking. In these 2 years, he must find a strategy of ensuring that Kenyans at least are happy. And Kenyans will be happy if there's medicine, if they're being paid, if they can do some savings, if they are living under habitable conditions. But if their children are disappearing and are being murdered, I can tell you the song that Ruto must go will not end. And I must remind these two gentlemen that it's a constitutional right. People can ventilate. By somebody saying go, it may saying go to the toilet or go home
Yeah.
tomorrow. Go and sleep. You go home, go and sleep. Is there a problem?
Yeah.
These two gentlemen, I thought they have gone to school. But anyway, let's get into context, Jed,
Yes.
because you started the topic. You know, the president has made some changes in his government. I don't know if this is the third time or so he's making changes. Some ministries have had 3-4 ministers in 2.5 years or 2.75 of a year. Changes. We don't even know which minister was where at what time. But that is okay, because I think he was doing trial and error.
Yes.
This better thing of his. It was a bad mistake, trial and error. It was trial and error everywhere. You are the appointing authority. You have 22 cabinet slots. You have permanent secretaries. You appoint the top. You have the National Intelligence Service behind you. You have everybody behind you. You have Public Service Commission, great gentlemen and great women,
Yes.
very experienced. You have all these people to work for you to ensure that you put together a formidable team to deliver on the country's vision. But what do? You go for mediocrity. You don't listen to professionals. This is the result. So when you go and appoint people and you discover and you come and tell us that they don't even know how to use cutlery and cookery. You remember his statement?
Yes, yes.
Do you remember?
Yes.
He said himself,
Yeah.
the president said that these people must be taught.
Yes.
I don't know whether he has been taught because he must not be a captain. But you see, the point being, Jed, that when you doubt even the people who you've appointed, and in less than 2 years, in less than a year, he was calling them incompetent.
Yeah.
In fact, when Kindiki came, he said, I've been lonely. But you are the appointing authority. Why did you, in the first place, yet you have all the instruments that I've mentioned to help you in settling for a formidable team? Why did you go for incompetent people? Why did you go for corrupt people? It is because, and you know me, I've come from the corporate world. I've been a corporate captain.
Yes.
You don't go for mediocrity. The only time that you can go for mediocrity is not when you are not sure of yourself. So you end up picking guys that are incompetent. But again, I would have excused him, as a management student, as a governance expert. I would have excused the president if he made 1 mistake, 2 mistakes. But you say these people are incompetent, you fire them. Then you make them your advisors. How stupid can one be, Jed? How? Surely.
This is what happened with P.S. Kisiangani. This is what happened with C.S. Moses.
Forget about, there are so many. All the people who say they're incompetent are back in government. Some of them as advisors. Some of them as high commissioners.
Nakumicha is back.
I don't mention names.
I'm going
Don't
to
be personal.
mention.
Don't be personal. Jed.
Yes.
We're saying that the president says these are incompetent, fire them. Then you bring them back. Therefore, in terms of management, Jed, and leadership,
Yeah.
the problem is with the captain. The captain is incompetent. He has no capacity to decide on the right things that need to be done to manage our affairs. It has nothing to do with those being appointed. Because if you're appointed, you take up a job. You are told you are the best, you pick up the job.
So what do you think about the recent reshuffle?
It is of no consequence.
Because it's
Because
all
the
about
problem, you see, in a classroom, you have a pupil, okay, who looks forward to a teacher to teach. The teacher looks forward to a principal to provide policy direction, leadership. Now, if the principal is incompetent, the result, what result do you expect? So even if you change the pupil, you change the teacher, the results will be the same, Jed.
You don't want me to mention names, but what do you think about Eden Duale in
the results will be the same. Jed, let me say this. Eden Duale, somebody I know, give him credit. You've seen the few months he was in the environment, okay? Hands-on. But not hands-on in a helter-skelter manner, with a particular purpose, with a particular focus. So he's a gentleman who is focused. And he is not a medic. But who said that to run a ministry must be a medic? Who said, even Soipan, this young girl, Soipan, she is in defense.
Yes.
What defense does she know?
Yeah.
Can she even defend herself? But she's running the entire, she's not a general.
Yes.
She has not even been a corporal. Leave alone, she has not been a corporal. I don't even think she has gone anywhere.
She's running
I don't even think she knows how to hold a rifle. But that aside, maybe the president in his wisdom or lack of wisdom, he decided that this lady can do the job.
Yes.
Okay? So let's give her an opportunity to perform. So this bottom up, and I said this better thing, bottom up transformation program, whatever you call it, I've told you top up, because this bottom is supposed to have been from bottom.
Yes.
Wananchi feeling,
Yes.
having the good feel effect
Yes.
from bottom. But from bottom is whole pain, misery, pain and misery, hunger. It is only from the waist up where the few are who are enjoying. So it's actually top up.
Yeah.
And if you look at from the West, most of them have really grown.
I don't want
They have expanded.
I know where
They have expanded, they have grown. If you look at everything.
I want us to talk about CS Muturi. He has been sacked. The president cited incompetence when CS Muturi was the Attorney General. And you know the president is going to tour Mount Kenya. People are saying, kama amevuta kijana wa Mount Kenya, mtoto wa Mount Kenya. Will this trip in Mount Kenya actually be successful in the president winning the region's support? Do you think it was a good move to sack Muturi, but we all know we were going to go there?
You see, Jed, I have spoken about Muturi, and I must also confess, he's somebody I know. So I'm not saying that the entire cabinet has incompetent people, but they lack direction, focus, and leadership. Muturi was appointed by the same William Ruto to be what? Attorney General. But during the attorney, because I decided to, to get some facts.
Oh.
And I did, and while I was going through, doing some basic research, I established that it is the same Muturi who established offices, Attorney General offices, started spreading them all over Kenya, so that the services are closer to people. All right?
Yeah.
That out of about 1,600 cases or thereabout, that the government had been taken to court, were in court, he won about 1,500. So the success rate, and he said we can do it, we have state councils who can go to court. So if you look at his success rate, as AG, the short time he was there as AG, there's something that he can show. There's a scorecard he can show. Okay? Even this WAF thing that that was established through the Act of 2022 March. Who operationalized that act? It is the same Muturi who is being dismissed. But what is strange, funny, it is strange and funny, that the same president on 29th of April 2024 praised Muturi for a good job. He praised him. Now look, do you now understand why I have problems with my friend William? 29th of April last year and this year is 11 months.
Yes.
He praised Muturi. The same guy who praised Muturi for doing a good job, now he's saying the man is incompetent.
In 11 months.
11 months. I say now the man is totally incompetent. That I'm having problems because of this incompetent man. But last year in April, you praised him. So now who is incompetent? Is it Muturi or is it William Ruto? Definitely, the man who praised the incompetent person
Yes.
is incompetent. The man who praised an incompetent person, the man who appointed an incompetent person must be extremely incompetent. Must be. There's no, how else can I define him? How else can I protect him? But I can tell you, Jed, coming back to your question about the success of the tour, Mount Kenya tour, it's going to be a disaster.
Oh.
Total
With all
disaster.
this, you know,
I am telling
I had someone
you,
saying,
even in Nairobi,
there is
you
no
know,
development tour
listen,
that has been paid this much attention.
My friend
Than
Jed,
this one in Mount
my
Kenya.
friend Jed,
Yeah?
you are in the media.
Meetings after
Jed,
meetings.
my friend, why are you having those meetings? If you are confident, go to the people. Go and meet them. Tell them. You see, I have said, Jed, what the president should be doing is not move from the rooftop and get into the office and start working.
Yeah.
He's not working. He's politicking. Unfortunately, you saw what happened in Nairobi. Too much politicking. Going helter-skelter, moving from this corner to the other, launching, relaunching projects. A president should not be launching. A president should be commissioning and not classrooms. A president should be saying that, okay, Nairobi, in the last 1.5 years, I have constructed 100 kilometers of roads.
Yes.
And here are the roads. He should be telling us what he has done. But going to visit primary schools and small little things, places, to say that, you know, to keep himself busy and to irritate us, I think is something that is extremely unfortunate. So back to Central Province, I doubt whether they'll give him attention. I doubt whether they'll bother with him. People of Central Province are so busy doing their thing. They're in the coffee, they're in the shops, they are doing something. They're engaged in economic activities. They have no time to come to markets to listen to somebody. Those people you see, if there'll be any, those are paid crowds. People have been paid. And you see, me, I told guys in Western Province where my ancestors are, I told them, attendance fee, your board members must move from 1,000, 2,000 to 5,000 bob.
Yeah.
And because people in Central Province understand the value of money, attendance fee must be 20,000
Per person.
per person. Because he's wasting your time. What is he coming to do, Jed? What is he coming to show you?
Yeah.
Is he saying that he's coming to commission the Mau Mau roads, which were already there, that we are waiting to be completed, that are done by the son of Jomo? So for me, it is going to be a total failure. It's going to be a total embarrassment. And I don't know who is advising my friend, William. I don't know who is advising him. If I were him, I would stick in the office, do some work, and then only come out when that work is done.
Okay.
But for now, there is no work being done. It is pointless to come out. He is going to be embarrassed. And if people are lying to him that they can mobilize, yes, you know, people, and I agree with Rigiji, if you are given money, money is sweet. If you are given, even you, chukua, but do the right thing.
Speaking of
So I can tell you, total failure. Let me tell you, even Nairobi, serious mobilization was done. But in Nairobi, you know, the youth, all of them are jobless. They have no jobs. So when they are given 2,000, they come. Unfortunately, the Nairobi ones were only given 50%, and you saw the mayhem that they caused. Okay? Because the balance was not given. Okay? You saw the destruction that
it was
happened
because
in
of the
Nairobi.
balance.
Of course, you saw the destruction. You saw the theft that took place. You saw you know, it was chaotic. It was bad. It was pretty bad. So I saw some people in Mount Kenya saying, please, Don't bring that bad manners in Central Province. Please don't. Don't. I don't know. Maybe the intelligence have told him what is likely. I don't know because I'm, I don't have. I'm not privy to intelligence.
Yes.
But I'm sure they have given some sound warnings that don't repeat what you. Yeah.
What
because
happened
it can be bad.
If there's a CS that people were expecting probably to be shifted was CS Mbadi for finance. You look at the situation in the country, he says the public debt is at, he says we are at our worst when it comes to the economy. Where our country is facing its worst economic period. That is what CS Mbadi is saying, with Kenya's debt soaring to approximately 11 trillion. And one would ask, well, is he failing at his position? Should he be expecting to be removed from that particular docket? What is your thinking when it comes to the economy? He's trying to speak about taxes and he's also talking about debt, but then we're not seeing tangible, effect.
Badi has only been there for a few months, and I'm not here to speak on behalf of Badi. Okay, so I'd give him a bit of more time. Let's look at the budget that he intends to read in June, and see the tax measures, proposals that he is going to present, and to see what he intends to do to fix the economy.
Okay.
But you see, Nani Jed, they, to deal with public debt, some basic fundamentals must be dealt with. One, you must lower interest rates. You must lower them to a single digit. But if they are high, now if you want to go and borrow money, it's almost 20%, 21, 22%. What business can you do to be able to pay the bank, the loan, and to make a profit? Then government must cut spending. There must be some austerity measures that are put in place and implemented. Okay. But you look at it this way. When you have a presidency, and the presidency is a consumption unit, it does not produce anything. It consumes. When a presidency is asking for an increase in budget by 300%, are those austerity measures being put in place? Being put where there's no production. No, zero production. Only politics and people going there to eat mandazi. And you want to increase your budget. Why can't you increase your budget in areas where we're going to see some productivity? Tourism, for example. Increase the budget. Because you market Kenya, give them money to market Kenya. We have more tourist arrivals, those who bring foreign exchange. Agriculture. Let's improve on our coffee. Let's improve on our tea. Let's improve on pyrethrum and all these other products so that we can export. Let's do value addition.
So what do you think when the president says he's a constructing president, he's renovating State House, he will not be stopped from jengos?
Listen.
And we're talking about measures.
That's what I'm telling you, misplaced priorities. By renovating State House, that other presidents have used before you. And those were people who, and I'm not saying that, those are people who, they are bourgeois. Those are people who knew style. Jomo, rubbing shoulders with the Mzungu girls in UK, and even gave us something from there.
Yes.
Look at Arap Moi again. He had the oomph.
Yes.
Okay. Then we had the Mwai Kibaki. Look at him. Look at his background. Then of course the prince, the prince. Yes. The man who was, the prince.
Yes.
Did you see him spending money on State House? Now we have a son of a peasant like me, misdirecting our meager resources so that he can live a lavish life. Jed, we are not saying that we should have state houses that are leaking, but we are saying that the president should spend our money wisely. We don't have to spend billions renovating State House when our children, Jed, are learning under trees.
Yeah.
The floors are mud. Our people have jiggers. Jiggers. And you are happy as a president. You mustn't be sick, Jed. Happy as a president to live lavishly in State House, billions, and your people have jiggers. Jiggers. Why can't you take those 2 billion and sort out the jiggers? Make people happy. People are dying in this country because of jiggers. Jed, you see, you had asked my fundamental question before you divert. Then the tax measures. When you overtax people, people have nothing left to spend. How can you propel the economy? You're just taxing them. It's like milking a cow until you start milking blood. That cow will die. It will not be too long before that country dies. That cow dies. So we need to see some austerity measures that are implementable, that are being implemented, and the meager resources that we have should be directed to productive areas. State House is not a productive area. It's a consumption unit. In fact, we are not saying that the president should not live properly, but this is one of the most extravagant presidents that this country has ever had. And that is why our Gen Z and millennials have a problem with him. Because they can see him living a lavish life, extravagant life. Yet, capitation for our schools, hakuna. University funding, otire. No funding. And the man wants billions in State House. We shall call him out, my friend.
Yeah.
We shall call him out. And then, of course, finally, what we need to do is just to make sure that the economy functions. The government will collect more taxes, will step down our borrowing, and things will be okay.
Okay. You've said you'll call them out, and I want to finish this conversation with this system of checks and balances, as we say it. Martha Karua argues that this broad-based government undermines Kenya's multi-party democracy. And she suggests, ODM should consider forming a coalition with Kenya Kwanza so that everyone knows where they are when it comes to this opposition. Let me just ask, will this weaken the opposition's ability to counter government or to hold government accountable if ODM, your party, forms this coalition with Kenya Kwanza UDA team?
You see, politics, Jed, is dynamic. My party boss, my party leader, my friend, is on record saying that he has not joined government, but he has donated a few experts to join government. But even, let's say a decision is made, and I'm sure now there's a coalition agreement, an understanding to work together.
Yes.
Let us assume that they have crossed the line and they are now in government. I see that as an opportunity for those who are left in opposition now to start oversighting. I see that as an opportunity, a grand opportunity for the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka, Rigiji, Martha Karua, okay, and the rest to come now and form a formidable team outside Parliament and within Parliament and put this government to check and put it where it belongs. Because you can't stop ODM from, deciding that they want to go into bed. Although, remember I said that bed that my party leader has been, maybe misled to get into, has urine. And urine that has been stayed there for too many weeks. It is a mattress that is stinking. It is just the duvet that is covering. But that mattress, Jed, if you are the one, you cannot sleep under that duvet because of the urine. That bed is stinking, Jed. So, for me, Jed, it's an opportunity. Knowing that politics is dynamic, for me, it's an opportunity for those who are left out to organize themselves and fill the space that has been left. Those who have gone, those who decide to go into bed, a bed that is full of urine, if they decide to go to that bed, shauri yao, but I can tell you, the majority of Kenyans are saying, and they have made a decision, conscious decision, that they are not going to sleep on a bed that has urine.
Where will PK be? Because PK is in ODM.
I carry my head. I carry my head. I don't go with my stomach. I carry my head.
Thanks for tuning into that conversation with Philip Kesia. It's all about the state of politics and governance in this country. Share this video with as many people as possible so that we can actually help those who are in leadership. Final remarks as we're heading over for this weekend of Ramadan.
First of all, we forgot to wish our brothers and sisters Ramadan Karim. And thank you. We now have a holiday on Monday.
Yeah.
Did you know that? We have a holiday on Monday.
I know.
My holiday, man.
I know.
My holiday.
I know.
So we must wish them well.
Yeah.
But having said that, Jed, I want you to look for that video, the short one, where I think these guys were in the stadium or in Naivasha.
Yeah.
And they were singing that song that our CDF and Nordin Haji find it unpalatable. Look for that video.
It's Mwizi, Ruto must go. You're ending up with that one.
Yes. You see, the only way to cure that, the only way to change a tune is by making sure that we have a happy nation, we have a happy people. Stop abductions. Stop corruption. Stop extravagance. Fix the economy. Create jobs. Meaningful jobs. Not just Mujengo jobs. Jed, you know, the other day, some young fellows came here.
Yeah.
And I was shocked. These guys are carrying kokoto and what have you, turn boys. And some of them have degrees. Some of them have, diplomas in mechanical engineering. And it's sad, Jed. It is sad to see our youth going through the hardship that they're going through. My friend William Ruto, you've been given an opportunity to serve this nation. You have gone through poverty. Stop this extravagance. Serve Kenyans. But if you continue with these bad manners of ignoring Kenyans when they're talking to you, you want to talk back at them. Now the security agents have realized that this thing is actually picking momentum and they think they can silence. They cannot silence anybody. The only way you can silence a stomach from rumbling and making noise is by eating. By putting food inside. But even if it doesn't matter what you do, if you don't feed the stomach, it will make noise. So, Haji and my friend CDF, that noise from the stomach, weka chakula ndani. Finally, Jed,
Yes.
I think this issue of being intolerant of divergent views needs to be checked. I did not like the way Peter Selassie was treated. And I'm hoping that by now, those who, roughed up Peter Selassie have been caught and will be arraigned in court on Tuesday. The same speed they use in raiding people's homes and what have you, and harassing other Kenyans who have not done anything, because it's on camera, they must now move decisively and take action. Otherwise, they will be now encouraging anarchy. The anarchy that CDF was talking about, the anarchy, that's now anarchy. Because when an innocent Kenyan is bullied, is beaten, is harassed, is harmed, injured, and our agencies cannot do anything, our law enforcement agencies are sitting pretty, that is now when anarchy will set in. So CDF, Nordin Haji, go and check in the dictionary the manner of anarchy, the definition of anarchy. Go and check. It is not people reading. People are happy because they're hungry. They're singing because that's the only thing that can keep them busy. Singing, Ruto, go home tomorrow.
Yeah.
Ruto, go home to the supermarket.
Yeah.
People are singing.
Check the definition of anarchy. KCS says Ruto must go doesn't necessarily mean a state of anarchy. but he says there are constitutional means to take Ruto out. It's time for our agencies to do what they ought to do. Thanks for tuning in. Kisia, have a great weekend.
Thank you, Jed.
Great weekend.
Will it be great?
Tunaenda wapi?
Niambie.
Goodbye for now.